So a few things I'm going to show you. First, I created a new style sheet. So this is a slightly different version of the style sheet than we had before. And I want to show you the differences here. First, I added another division called Content. And inside that is my header and my main. And of course, we still have the navigation division. So in my style sheet, here's the content, here's header, and then here's main. So first what I did is the content I made 600 pixels wide. So I fixed that at 600 pixels in width. And then the margin, I added a margin. So we talked about this in the lecture portion. So I got a 10 pixel margin on the top and on the left hand side. So the top and the left have a 10 pixel margin, 10 pixel padding all the way around. And I added a border. So all three of these have a border now. One border is black, the other one is going to be green, and the other one's going to be blue. So I have a a red, a green, and a blue border here. The background color for the content is going to be white. So the content box is going to be white, and these should inherit that white background. But the body, I've added a few things here. One is the background color of the body is now black. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's here twice. So if I get rid of this one, it's going to make sure that it's black. And then we have a URL for a background image called background.png, and I'm going to tell it to repeat that image. So it's going to take that image and splatter it across the entire background of my page. But because this content is going to be as a white background, we'll still have our white background, but then any space that doesn't have any content is going to be where our background is, which is pretty typical of most web pages. So that's one piece. The other piece that's new here is I added a link to a fave icon, which is the icon that displays in the browser. If you're wondering how to get those, so first for the background image, I went to this website, subtlepatterns.com. They've got tons of free background images that you can download and use for your website. So you'll see one of those is what I'm using for this exercise. And then for the icon, if you want to make an icon for your page, you can go to www.faveicon.cc, and they have a little tool here where you can just draw your own little icon, or you can download somebody else's icon that somebody else drew. So I added that. And then I also added an image. So this is an image. So I added an image, just a little picture of me that I threw on the top of the page. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here's my page. You can see here's the main content has the red border. Then I got a green border around this header section, and then a blue border around the main section. So the main has a blue border, green border around the header, and then there's my red border around the content. You can see the padding in here. So inside that inside the larger divider, there's a 10 pixel padding on all sides, and then outside there's 10 pixel padding on the top and on the left hand side. And then there's the background image, so you can see the background image now. So I'll make two little changes just so you can see what happens. First, for the image, I'll make the image a lot smaller by changing this to 50. And then I'm going to go to the style sheet, and I'm going to change this repeat to no repeat, so it won't repeat the image. So I'll refresh the page. Notice that now you can see the black background for the page, and that's the actual image. It's not being repeated now. You just see that one copy of the image. Looks kind of funny like that, but I just wanted you to see what that looks like. And now the image is a lot smaller. Now, if you recall, that image is a raster image. So if I make it really big, it should look pretty ugly. So let me make it 600 pixels. While I'm at it, I'm going to go back to the style sheet. Instead of doing no repeat, I'm going to do repeat Y, which should repeat it in only one direction. So we'll refresh the page. Notice that my picture looks very pixelated now. Looks pretty ugly. So it's definitely a raster image. And you can see that that background image is only repeated vertically. It's not repeated horizontally. So I'll make one more change here. We'll go back here. We'll do X for the repeat, and we'll change this image back to 100 pixels where it looks a little nicer. Actually, we'll change it to maybe 80 pixels so it's not too big. And we'll refresh the page. So the image is going to be smaller, it looks a little nicer. We've got that background now repeating only on the horizontal. And also notice the fave icon. It's just a little picture of Super Mario from Nintendo. But it's just a small little picture up there. And if you added this as a favorite, if you add a bookmark for this website, that's the icon that would show up on the bookmark. And if you made a shortcut on the desktop, that would be the icon on the desktop. So going back to the code, just one more change. We'll change the repeat back so that it looks a little nicer. And you can see it's now fixed. I'm going to post all these examples on my web page, and I'll post a link to it in Web Study so you can see what these look like. And I'll also post another video for the homework assignment.